Is your fuel gauge stuck on empty when you know you just filled up? Or maybe it's reading full even though you've been driving for miles? A malfunctioning fuel gauge can leave you stranded or constantly second-guessing your fuel level. The good news? You might be able to fix it yourself in just a few minutes. Let's dive into 3 proven methods to reset your fuel gauge. Method 1. The battery disconnect reset. This is the most universal method and works on most vehicles made after the year 2000. When you disconnect your car's battery, it clears the vehicle's computer memory, allowing the fuel gauge system to recalibrate from scratch. Here's how to do it. First, turn off your engine and locate your car's battery under the hood. Using a wrench, disconnect the negative terminal. That's the one marked with a minus sign and usually has a black cable. Wait anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. This ensures all residual power drains from the system. After waiting, reconnect the negative terminal tightly. Start your car and turn the ignition to the on position without starting the engine. Watch your fuel gauge. It should sweep across the display and then settle at the correct reading. Don't worry if it doesn't show accurately right away. Some vehicles need 1 or 2 complete drive cycles to fully recalibrate. One important note: disconnecting your battery will reset your radio presets and clock, so you'll need to reprogram those. But this is a small price to pay for a working fuel gauge. Method 2. The instrument cluster reset. This method is more technical and varies by vehicle manufacturer, but it can reset your fuel gauge without touching the battery. The procedure is different for each car brand, so I'll cover the 2 most common ones. Method 1. Start by turning your ignition to the on position without starting the engine. Press the trip or odo button until your odometer displays ODO mode. Now turn the ignition completely off. While holding down the trip odo button, turn the ignition back to on. Keep holding the button for about 2 seconds, then release it and immediately press it again. Repeat this press and release pattern 3 or 4 times. If done correctly, leveling information should display on your odometer, and your fuel gauge will reset. For other vehicles, the process is different. First, turn your headlights on and off several times. Insert your key into the ignition, but don't turn it yet. Press and hold the instrument panel reset button. This is usually located next to the odometer or fuel gauge. While holding that button, turn your headlights on, then turn the key to the second position without starting the engine. Within 5 seconds, turn the headlights off, then on, then off again. Release the reset button. Your instrument cluster should begin its self-test, and the fuel gauge will recalibrate. For other makes and models, check your owner's manual or search online for your specific vehicle's cluster reset procedure. Method 3. The instrument cluster fuse reset. If the first 2 methods don't work, try resetting the instrument cluster fuse. This is simpler than the previous methods but will reset your entire dashboard, not just the fuel gauge. Start by locating your fuse box. In most vehicles, there's one under the dashboard on the driver's side or under the hood. Open the fuse box cover and look for the diagram. You're searching for the fuse labeled instrument panel, dash, or gauges. Once you've found it, use fuse pullers or needle nose pliers to remove the fuse. Wait 10 to 15 seconds, then reinstall it firmly. Turn your ignition to on and check if your fuel gauge resets. Bonus tip: the fill and drive method. Here's a simple technique that can help your fuel gauge recalibrate naturally, especially after you've tried one of the reset methods. Fill your tank completely to the top. Then drive your vehicle normally until you reach about 1/4 tank. Fill it up completely again. This process helps the system relearn the full range of the fuel sending unit and can improve accuracy. Some vehicles actually need this cycling process after a reset to achieve the most accurate readings. Think of it as teaching your fuel gauge what full and low actually mean in your specific tank. Before you try any of these methods, understand that fuel gauges are designed with safety buffers. Your gauge might read empty when you actually have 1 to 3 gallons left. This is intentional to prevent you from running completely dry. Also, your gauge tends to stay on full longer after filling up because the float needs to drop below the fuel surface before it starts moving. Here's the truth. If these reset methods don't fix your problem, or if the gauge works briefly but then fails again, you likely have a hardware issue and needs to be checked. If you find this fuel gauge reset video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe.